Hi guys, I just wanted to chime in with you to make a quick video about accessing some resources that are available to you in terms of your research projects. Over the next couple of weeks, our course will shift to focus almost entirely on academic research, with our first major project this first 2 weeks, being an annotated bibliography, which will then fold into a formal research paper. So I realize that research can be a daunting task for many, so I did want to just give you some quick tips and show you some things that are available to you. I know that Google has turned into kind of like the go-to research platform, but good research, sound, solid academic research is more than Google. As a matter of fact, there are a lot of resources that are available to you via the Richmond Community College Library. So let's take a look at what the library has to offer. In terms of accessing resources through our college's library, you just want to go to the home page, which is richmondcc.edu. And the easiest way to access this information is if you just scroll all the way to the bottom, and under quick links, simply click on library. And I'm working at home, so my computer runs a bit slower, but it's all right. Once you go to the library webpage, it's going to look kind of like this. It's very plain, very straightforward. But what we're most focused on is resources for right now. Now, once you click on the resources tab, it will give you a list of the various resources with a brief description. Now, I'm just being honest with myself, and I realize that not a lot of people do a lot of research in actual hard copies of books right now, and so that's okay. But if you do want to use books in your research, you can click on the catalog, see what our library has to offer, and things like that. But what I really want to show you is our databases. It says, the blurb here says, the databases provide access to digital sources such as articles, streaming videos, ebooks, and more. So our databases, the thing about it that differentiates this from from Google is that the databases include peer-reviewed scholarly content. So whenever you pull something up on Google, anybody could have put it there. Anyone can get a web page. It's very simple. But when you are using academic databases, what's being published and presented are articles that have been written by people who are deemed experts or trustworthy or notable in their fields of study. And so you can feel more confident that what you're using is actually going to be beneficial to your research project. So let's click on this. One thing I do want to remind you, and it says here, your Richmond CC credentials, username, and password allow you to access the content off campus. If you are on campus, then you don't have to log in. But if you are off campus, whenever you go to any of the databases, because these are paid subscriptions, you do have to log in. And you log in the same way you log into your email, the same way you log into Moodle, WebAdvisor, all of that. So if you just click on databases, it's going to bring up an A to Z listing of all of the databases that we have to offer. And as you can see, there are 89 of those. Now, you can just scroll through the list and kind of see what's available for you. You can also simplify what is presented on the screen by choosing a subject area. Say, for example, you know that you want to do some research in fields of nursing or history or law and politics, then you can narrow your results there. You can also search via different types of databases, video streaming, subscriptions, NC Live databases, things like that, ebooks, which, are beneficial even if you don't read the whole book, if you read a chapter. In terms of vendors and providers, it doesn't really matter here. ProQuest, lots of students find good resources there. Also, EBSCOhost, we find good resources there. So it really just depends. And I would encourage you to just kind of click through, see what works after you've discovered and decided on your research topic. One go-to, though, if we just click on the end, this is the go-to that I always use and encourage students to use also, is NC Live. If you are a recent high school graduate, you may be familiar with NCY's OWL. NC Live is the collegiate version of NCY's OWL. So when you go to NC Live, it's going to look like this, and you can search right here. But what I encourage you to do actually is to click on Advanced Search. And I'm going to tell you why as it comes up. But, one moment, and I may have to log in also. No, it didn't prompt me to log in. But once you click on Advanced Search, it kind of breaks it down into all these little boxes so that you can narrow your search results. The thing about searching on Google is that oftentimes you're not afforded this opportunity. So if we were to be looking up a topic, and I'm just going to use global warming as a sample, don't write about global warming. But if we were to be looking up a topic such as global warming, and what you can always do is add these little add rows. So say we want to look at global warming and the polar ice caps. But we don't want, so notice I'm altering these fields over here. These are called Boolean terms, B-O-O-L-E-A-N. And the three commonly used Boolean terms are and, not, and or. And what we do when we choose these words here on NC Live as a drop-down list is what it does is it allows you to narrow and specify your search. So say I want global warming and the polar ice caps, but not anything about natural disasters. I don't know. So I want articles that are specific to global warming and the polar ice caps, but not natural disasters. So you can also change your publication date because we want to remain current. We don't want any articles that are beyond 10 years. That's for your research also. Don't go beyond 10 years. We can choose any type. Well, I don't want audio or recordings. Maybe I want journals or e-journals or journal articles or even magazines and magazine articles. I'm going to leave it to any discipline. Language is set on English. Items with full text only. Yeah, I want the full thing. I want to be able to read the entire article. But you can specify this search however you want to, okay? The only thing that I am a stickler about is that your articles should be within the past 10 years, within the past 10 years. And if we just click on search, and you notice how then it changes what it looks like. So we got global warming and polar ice caps, not natural disasters, which I didn't do this ahead of now, so I don't really know what's going to come up. But here we have 2,000 hits, which is quite a bit. But you can read through. One thing that I do want to encourage you to do when you find things on NC Live is to not jump in necessarily and read the entire article, but just click on this preview button. And what it's going to give you is a brief overview, a slight summary of what the article has to offer. So you can read through the summary and decide, okay, I can use this or I cannot. You should also click on full text to pull up the whole thing. Another thing that I really like about NC Live and other databases as well, but I'm just highlighting this one, although you can use any of the others, is when it comes to citing things, sometimes there's a little bit of confusion and people struggle with that. So if you click on cite this item, which is just those little quotation marks there, then it's going to bring up a box. We're using MLA, the most updated edition. So in the drop down box, just choose MLA and it's going to generate the citation for you. All right. So here now we have the citation generated for us in MLA format. So all that you have to do literally is highlight, copy, paste it in your Word document, and you have it. So you don't and that's for your works cited page or for your annotated bibliography. So you don't actually have to come up with it yourself. So that's one thing that I did want to show you about using the databases. Now, again, this is applicable to all the other databases. In the next video, I'm going to talk a little bit about a smart way to use Google, but I did want to just show you the library resources first. Of course, if you have any questions, you can ask me. But also, let me show you a really cool thing. If you click on services on the library page, you can ask questions, right? Ask a librarian. If you click on ask questions, it gives you the contact information for our day and evening librarians, Miss Dickerson and Miss Paul. You can call them. You can email as well. You can schedule an appointment for Ask a Librarian. This is a scheduled consultation where you receive one-on-one research help from a librarian, in person. You can go into the library, or it can also be a Skype session if you don't go online or if you don't go on campus. So you can also chat with a librarian if you have questions. So you can reach out to me, but you can also reach out to our campus librarians. And of course, as always, let me know if you have any questions.